I'm making fig jam. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, see if a couple more people come in. Look at these beautiful figs I got from the farmer's market. Aren't they gorgeous? It's been so hard to find good figs lately. My mom actually has a fig tree, but they're a little late to bloom, I guess you could say. So I know they're beautiful, and it's so hard not to want to eat them all at once. Figs are gorgeous. I love the color, love the texture. They're fun to photograph. That's why I really like them, and it's awesome when you can get them fresh. And I love shopping at the farmer's market. So here's what I have now. I'm going to be making I'm going to start the demo for fresh fig jam live, and it takes a little while, so I will be showing like the final product probably on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm at KimArt Etsy. It's all one word. So I've already chopped up a bowl of figs, and I've mixed in about half a cup of sugar. And the thing that's great is, I mean, sometimes when you go to the supermarket, you can't get the best quality figs, but those are almost sometimes the best figs to use to make jam, because these perfect ones I save. Can you use stevia? Yes, you can. I will actually research into a conversion. So I'm doing the scope now for this recipe. This is my recipe for simple and easy fig jam. I'll actually research a good conversion from white refined sugar to other substitutes like stevia. Another option, which I'll get into, is that you can just use honey. So okay, so these like more perfect figs that are firm and not like super soft or damaged are actually great if you want to make a fig tart. And I'm going to be making one later, so you can look for the photos of that to come soon. And in the future, there'll definitely be recipes up on the blog, because these are more of like a late summer fruit. So I have a bunch of figs that were slightly less than perfect, but still perfect for jam, diced and tossed with sugar. So I used about half a cup. I eyeball things. I will be providing more strict measurements for the purposes of my blog and for recipes. So I have this on low heat. This is a little hard to do with one hand. Have this on low heat. You're just going to dump everything in. And it looks so good. Like, figs are one of my most favorite fruits. It's one of the reasons why I wish that I could live in California, because the weather is more conducive to growing figs all year round. So basically, you're going to have this on low heat. What's going to happen is the sugars are going to start to caramelize. I have about 1 cup of water here. And what's going to happen is you're going to slowly add. I'm adding about half of that cup for now. I've made this a lot, so I know a little bit more of when to add water and when to ease up on the water. So over time, this is going to be a really quick scope. Over time, this is going to heat up, bubble up, and you're going to let it thicken. What you want to see is these skins break down a little bit. I chop these pretty small, but I do like a little bit of a chunky texture in fig jam, because it's nice to feel like you're still eating a whole fruit. This is not a store-bought jam, so I'm trying to keep it a little bit authentic. I have still about like a quarter cup of water left. As this thickens, I can actually add a little bit more water to this, because some people like really thick jam, some people don't. Another addition is honey. This is my plug for ShopRite, my favorite supermarket, besides Whole Foods, but Whole Foods is like whole paycheck, right? So, so you can add a little bit of honey. This is going to give it a little bit of a deeper kind of flavor. And I know that this is going to sound like a lot of sugar and a lot of sweetness, but this is homemade, and if you think this is a lot of sugar, you'd be very surprised to see how much sugar goes into the jams you buy at the supermarket. So this is going to be a very simple, quick jam recipe. This is probably going to have to simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes, and it's going to thicken up. Something else you can add to this, which I'm not going to do for this one, but I've done it in the past and it's delicious, is you add cinnamon. Ground cinnamon. It gives this beautiful warmth and richness to it. And if you're familiar with canning jams and canning recipes, that is going to be like one of the best things to have to hold you over through winter. So yeah, so you can already see this is starting to bubble. Yes, I have done. Hey, thanks for coming to my second scope for the day. I have done this with brown sugar. I have so many variations. There's also recipes that use a little bit of lemon juice, and the lemon juice is great for preservation. I can get more into that on my blog, but this is gonna be this is the kind of jam that you make kind of on a whim. You find some figs at the farmer's market. You want to make a nice fresh jam, and this will not last long enough for you to even need any kind of preservative or that lemon juice, which is gonna help if you're canning it for later use, because this is so delicious that you're gonna want to put on everything. So yeah, so I wanted to share this with you guys. If you missed my scope this morning, I did a live demo on how to make homemade pickles, which was awesome. Let me also show you. Do you guys want to see my ridiculous haul from my mother-in-law's garden and a couple things we got at the farmer's market? So I'm just gonna let this simmer. You'll see the photos later on Instagram. Okay, hold on, let me show you. Hey, hi. Okay, we're gonna go over now to this section. You will see I do rent. I live in an apartment. So I have a ridiculous amount of, I have every kitchen appliance you can ever imagine, from pasta makers to different kinds of blenders to grinders and all that. So if you see like a crock pot like up there, don't be surprised. So this is everything we got at the farmer's market and from my mother-in-law's garden. There needs to be a fig emoji. I know, I love figs. Okay, here, let me show you. Okay, these are cucumbers from my mother-in-law's garden. Can you even believe how large these are? Okay, this is a squash from my mother-in-law's garden, which I don't even know what to do with this thing because it's so ginormous. These are all GMO free. I think they got rid of it. Oh, yeah. These are all like organic, I like to say. They don't put anything to supersize. Oh, really? You don't like cucumbers? Do you like pickles? Oh, I hear my fig jam bubbling. Do you dip them in something? No, but hold on. Let me just talk about this first. These are her homegrown eggplants. These are all tomatoes from my mother-in-law's garden. It's like ridiculous. These are purple tomatoes. I got these at the farmer's market, and this is my camera. And these are more figs that I got at the farmer's market. If you don't like cucumbers, I really don't know how to make you like cucumbers. But one thing you can do, I eat them. I like Greek salad. So I actually we have a cherry tomato plant, so I dice up, and we have a cucumber plant. So I dice up cucumbers and cherry tomatoes, and I put salt and pepper. You can put crumbled goat cheese or crumbled feta, and then I just do a simple dressing with olive oil and red wine vinegar. I can eat them if it's in a recipe. Yeah, I mean, so that's one option. You can do the like a very simple Greek salad. I have also made a cucumber soup, which has fresh mint in it. I don't know if you would like it if you don't like just straight cucumber, but that's also delicious. It's a cold soup, cold cucumber soup, and it's perfect for summer. I'll probably actually blog about that. Another thing you can do with cucumbers is dip them in ranch dressing. That's like one of the easiest way. If you have like a ton of cucumbers around, you want to eat them. They're delicious. How do you meal plan? You're a passionate. Yes, my husband and I are foodies. I'm very passionate about food. I have a meal planner that I actually bought from Brim Papery on Etsy when she used to actually sell it as a PDF, so you could print as many as you wanted to, and I bought it back then. So now she sells them on a pad, so you only get like 50 sheets at a time. But I had purchased a PDF sheet for my food shopping trips from Brim Papery, and it's beautiful and it's so cute, and I organize it according to how everything's laid out in ShopRite, because that's how OCD I am about food shopping. And also, planning out your shopping list extremely prevents you from buying things that are not on the list, and it keeps you in budget. And another thing that's really important for us, because we're only 2 people, we don't have a family, there's no reason for us to be spending an astronomical amount of money on food. So I would say that each of us eats, I can feed both of us for between about $45 to $50 a week. And that's not including a lot of things with preservatives. That does include a lot of like fresh vegetables, fresh meats, and fresh fruit. So I make, that's my downfall. Yeah, and I mean, it's hard when you're busy, when I'm very busy on Etsy, it's very hard to not fall into the trap of like making things that come in packages, which I don't feel guilty about. I will keep, they do have a better selection now. That's fine. Feel free to ask questions. That's awesome. Like, this was supposed to be a quick scope, but if you have questions, I can help you. this is something I want to get into my blog. So if you missed my first scope yesterday, I actually discussed how I'm rebranding my blog. So my blog, the headers, KimArt for the home. So I'm going to be integrating what I like to do, which is make handcrafted goods for the home. But also I'm very big on cooking, and I'm very big on grow your own, make your own food. Rebrand. Yeah, I know. It's taken me a while. I've been around for a long time. It's taken me a while to get to this point. What's the name of your blog? I'm not releasing my URL yet because my new post isn't up yet. But if you just stick around for a few more days, I will have a new post up, and I'll be like launching it. Okay, quick recipe. Okay, wait, hold on. So wait, I lost my train of thought. Let me just go back to what was I saying before? I was gonna say that there's actually a really nice market now. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. Hold on. Okay, wait, hold on. But I was getting into something else. There's a really nice market now when it comes to if you want something quick. They have so many good quality frozen burritos now. They're not cheap, but if you wait till they go on sale on ShopRite, you can get them for maybe like $1.50 each as opposed to like $2.50 a piece. And they're usually they have like all natural and organic chicken burritos and stuff like that. I do keep those in the freezer because my husband really likes those. And there are a couple brands I can share with you guys. You definitely feel like, what is ShopRite? It's a oh, I'm from the Northeast and I'm in New Jersey. We have ShopRite, which is the best supermarket ever because ShopRite sells so many good and high quality organic products, and it's you've probably heard of ShopRite before. And the thing about ShopRite is that, well, I have A&P by me too. A&P, Acme, of course, Wegmans, Whole Foods. But A&P and Acme are extremely, extremely overpriced. I can stick to a budget because I have 2 or 3 ShopRites that are all within 15 minutes of me. ShopRite is like the best supermarket, really. High quality produce, high quality meats, a really great selection of organic and non-organic, just goods, anything, snacks, granola, like everything. So that's my go-to. And they also have digital coupons. If you do not digital coupon, I think that you should, because for as much time as we all spend on our computers and phones, all you have to do is take a few minutes. And if there's a shop right by you or another supermarket that does, I've never heard of that in my life. I've only been to a Trader Joe's once too, because it's really far from me. It's like 40 minutes for us to just go to Trader Joe's. And they need to bring a Whole Foods closer to my area too, because the Whole Foods again is like 40 minutes from me. So I have budgeting tips. I will be sharing those in the future on my blog. I have so much I want to cover and so much I want to share with you guys. And I don't want to overload you, so I'm going to have to space them out. Unfortunately, so you're going to have to wait a little bit. But I think that what I'm going to start is this morning. Oh, that's sad that you don't have Whole Foods. That's really sad. I can do without Trader Joe's. I don't know why I wasn't like that fond of Trader Joe's, but I haven't been there in a couple years, so I need to revisit Trader Joe's. I love Whole Foods, but every time I go into Whole Foods, it's ridiculously expensive. And then the other thing too, the great thing about Whole Foods though, is that we're big into cheeses, and I can only get certain cheeses at Whole Foods or Wegmans. So budgeting. I have tons of tips, especially because my husband and I do not have children yet. I specifically look out for sales on poultry, and what I do, some of the tips, like I've already given some of my friends because they're horrible at budgeting and meal planning, is buy the large packs of poultry when it's on sale. And if you're only cooking for 2, you can actually take them apart before you put them in the freezer. Open up the large package and divide it up. Get the freezer bags, Ziploc freezer bags, and divide it ahead of time. So that way when you go to, oh, hey, hi, thank you for joining. That way when you go to actually cook, you don't have to defrost a whole pack of chicken, which A, takes longer, and B, you're not supposed to freeze poultry and then refreeze it. So that's a tip. I stock up on poultry when it's on sale, because so then that way like, I don't have anything to make for dinner tonight. I have to go food shopping, but I have a ton of frozen sausage, and actually sausage defrosts very quickly. Sausage defrosts much more quickly than like chicken defrosts, just so you know. And actually steak defrosts pretty quickly too. So, I have tons of budgeting tips. This comes from me going to undergrad and graduate school, and I basically have not lived at my parents' house since. So when I was 18, obviously I started college, and I lived away from home. So free. My friend is actually I think it's safe food certified. I have to ask her, but I think in general, if you go to the counter, so much cheaper. Yeah, that's true. That's another tip too. Sometimes you can actually get cheaper meat if you go to a butcher, but I'll have to get more into that because I don't have good accessibility to a good butcher. And sometimes they always seem so busy at ShopRite, so I'm a little reluctant to go up to the counter and ask them for anything. But what was I getting into? So for 5 years, I lived alone. He was my boyfriend, did not live with me. So I have a lot of experience with buying for one and eating for one or two, because he would come up on the weekends. Tons of tips. I worked all through college, but I still had to maintain a budget. I was spending at some points $70 a week, and I'm like, what am I even buying? First thing we cut out was prepackaged stuff. We do not buy, you will never find in this house, we don't eat chips. We're not chip people, and we're barely even cookie people, like those kinds of things. I mean, we love sweets, but if we want a dessert, I always make it myself. So I'll make like tarts, pastries, cookies, cakes from scratch. It's very rare that we actually buy cookies, because that actually is what racks up your bill at the supermarket. The only packaged snacks we buy now are Kind bars. And that's so my husband has something to snack on, because he has like a little bit of a longer commute to go into work. Yes, food is everyone's biggest expense. It's crazy. Like, and if you don't have access, I generally hate summer because it's so hot. If you don't have access to good food, that's also a struggle. We actually had a really good supermarket that was based out of the New Brunswick, New Jersey area, which is more of an urban area. Went out of business because their price points were just too high, and it's really a shame because that demographic of people really needed access to better quality food because they have tons of health issues and other things, so that's a shame. And that's what happens when we do not have access to good quality food. So I actually hate summer because it's so hot and humid here in New Jersey. But one of the things I do love about summer, yes, I love Wegmans. Still a little pricey though. One of the things I do love about summer is having really nice accessibility to farmers markets and just growing your own. In my scope I did this morning, if you replay it, it was pretty short. I think it was like only 12 or 13 minutes. I actually walked you guys through my garden, so you can actually see what I grow here, and we are renters. So I don't have a tremendous amount of space. So I will be talking a little bit on my blog about urban farming and how I utilize the space that we were given. I have a raised garden bed. I am growing carrots, doing them in a pot. So I showed you guys this morning on my scope earlier. I'm from California. Yes. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a garden. Here, do you want to see? So my fig jam is starting to come together. So you can see that a lot of the seeds have started to come out, starting to break down. This is going to take a little bit more time. I'm going a little slow on the heat just because I'm talking to you guys at the same time. Otherwise, this would only take maybe like a half an hour to cook. I know someone asked about quick snacks. That is something I can definitely help you with on my blog. I have made so many things. I need to go back and like think a little bit more, but I definitely have quick snack suggestions that will be coming. Yeah, so this morning I made pickles. I don't know if you guys want to see my pickles that I showed earlier. I did a live demo. I pre-chopped everything this morning, so it was quick, of pickles. So we put pickles, and I have my recipe for my brine that will be coming. And by the way, this jar was full to the top with cucumbers and stuff, and this is the shrinkage. This is what happens when they release the water and you make pickles. So these are easy refrigerator dill pickles. No canning process involved because canning is a pain in the butt. And I will also say that this will not last in the fridge because they're so delicious that you will eat them. I promise you. I read it when I was researching how to make pickles. People were saying, oh, you can keep them in the fridge for up to 3 weeks in the jar if you do it not in the canning method, which is, I do a water bath method if I'm canning, which basically seals out the air. I made 3 jars of pickles last weekend. My husband and I ate them in 2 days. So they're delicious. You will just want to eat them. Wait, I'm sorry, what was the question? I saw the word intense, but I missed it. Yeah, unfortunately, cucumbers are a little, you need space to grow them, and depending on what your climate is like, they're not that easy to grow. I'm so excited to show you guys my finished fig jam. I'm going to be adding like a little sprig of rosemary to the top too later. I grow rosemary, thyme, basil, 2 different kinds of basil. Last year I grew 4 kinds of basil and we didn't use them as much, so I cut it down to 2 kinds. If you ever see me make homemade pho, which is a Vietnamese soup, if you ever see the pic of it on Instagram, I use fresh Thai basil from my garden. So does anyone else have any questions? I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing today. It's Saturday. I like to cook. Did you grow the figs? No, I don't grow the figs. These are from the farmer's market, but my mom grows figs. She has a fig tree. She's only 15 minutes away from me. They're a little bit later to ripen here in Jersey, so she probably won't be able to pick her figs till like September. So in the meantime, I bought these from the farmer's market. Yeah. And I think that the farmer's market actually gets them from California, they said. But pretty much every place has to get them from California because it's warmer there earlier. And I'd actually rather buy from the farmer's market than from ShopRite because anytime I've seen these figs in ShopRite, a lot of times they're not very good quality. A lot of them are broken and a little on the mushier side. Those are perfect for making jam. That's kind of fine because you don't need them to be in perfect condition to make jam. But I don't know. I'd rather just buy from the farmer's market. They had really good quality ones at the farmer's market. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to show you guys. I hope you guys are impressed by all the fresh vegetables I have. I think I'm gonna be making gazpacho. I have so many tomatoes. I do make a fresh tomato sauce, but yeah, so yeah, I'm really excited to start with my blog. Oh yes, thank you so much. So I was in pleating. Wait, hold on, wait 1 second. Yes, I was in Paige Poppy's scope earlier, and I actually bought the pre-order of her zine. And what's funny is that the whole time I thought that that word was zine, and it's actually zine. So she has she has a new book coming out that's called Flora and Fauna, I believe, and it was like $12 with free shipping. I already ordered it, and I think I tweeted about it too. Everyone should go order it. That was like beautiful. I am obsessed with flowers and especially watercolor. I'm actually a painter. I started off as a painter, so I'm obsessed with like anything that's like painting. And yeah, go buy it. It's $12 with free shipping. That's her pre-order price. Yeah. So, and what was the question about plating? Do you mean plating food, like pretty, in a pretty way, or is it on Etsy? No, it's at pagepoppy.com, and then I think she said it was like / pre-order or something, but you just go to her menu and go to shop, and then I found it down there. Yeah, so plating food, are you asking in terms of making it pretty, or, is that how you spell it? I thought it was Z-I-N-E. I don't know. I'll just say, yeah, okay. Oh, making it pretty. Okay. So Andrea, have you already seen some of my Instagram photos? I'm not sure. Or did you just find me on here? Oh, where do I get inspiration for plating? It's really hard to say because it's one of those things where I've actually always wanted to, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was Z-I-N-E. I've always wanted to take a food styling class, but I haven't, okay, you're back, okay. I haven't been able to take a food styling class yet, and that's one of the things I want to do, but I get inspiration just by looking, I take a ton of photos. So I actually will take a bunch of pictures, and then the ones that you actually see posted to my Instagram are like the best of maybe like 25. I like to rearrange things. I take things I have, and I didn't used to have this. It took me a little while to get a nice little collection. Do you like how I have some, you see that cute stuff? It took me a little while to get a nice collection of things going. A lot of my stuff I buy is from Anthropologie, of course. So I have tons of dinner napkins that I use for food photos, dinner napkins, and also I have fresh lavender just sitting around. I'll use fresh herbs. I have thyme from my garden, rosemary. That's great. You just rearrange it. I always use natural lighting to take my food photos. So yeah, so when you actually see me post a photo on Instagram and you like my food pics, there are probably 20 other photos that didn't make it to my Instagram. Yeah, so I love to play with color. Sometimes it's nice, like I just did fig photos earlier that you guys will see posted at some point later on. It's nice to let the food do the talking sometimes, especially in the summer. I love the rich colors of fruit and vegetables, so I try not to take away from that. You just want to like accentuate it without taking away from it. So I know that you guys, there's some people here that, oh, by the way, oh wait, how do I turn that? You see my fresh flowers from the farmer's market? And then that mirror I got is like my favorite thing ever. That was like my one big splurge when we moved here. I think it's from, and it's all mosaic and it's beautiful, and that's my accent wall. I think it's from Pottery Barn. I'm not sure, maybe it's from Pier 1. So if you just joined, I'm actually making fig jam live. So here, let me flip the camera. Fig jam, we're making fig jam, super easy, does not need to be hard. I really want to turn more people onto figs. A lot of people, you'd be surprised, have never had figs before. So that's definitely something I want to change, because everyone should have some figs in their life. And if you hadn't seen, I got these glorious figs from the farmer's market, beautiful. I'm going to be making a fig tart later with goat cheese and fresh herbs, so you will see a photo of that probably on Instagram, and you can expect that to come up on my blog at some point. These are gorgeous and delicious. I love them. And to answer, how many figs did you use that are cooked down? Oh, okay, so Nancy, I had, my Instagram is at KimArt Etsy, and it's all one word, KIMARTETSY. So, I am notorious, since I've been cooking for such a long time, I do not measure ingredients. Thank you, Danielle. I do not you're really sweet, thank you. I do not measure ingredients. I would say that I probably had chopped between 10 to 12 figs to make this jam, and it may make like 2 pint-sized jars once it's done. For my recipes that I'm posting, I will provide exact measurements, but I think that there's a Juliet's Child quote that I read, or someone said it once, where they said like really the only measuring you should do is in baking, because when I'm cooking I don't use exact measurements. And something I found is that even when I'm following recipes from really great cooks, like I love Ina Garten, and I love Giada recipes too. Hers are pretty good. I always find that yeah, baking is more of a science, because when you have stuff like baking soda and flour to ratios, that's when it matters. But I always find that their spice measurements are not good. Like, I like things more flavorful. So one of the things I will be offering in my blog is, hey, if I'll be making notations. If you want less salt, you can cut back on the salt here. But I'm a big fan of bold flavors. We love Indian food. We love everything from sushi to Thai to Indian food. So I believe in adding a little bit more of everything. So, to make this jam, yeah, I probably used like 10 or 12 figs. I used the least perfect figs out of the batches that I got for the jam, because I'm using the more perfect figs to make a fresh fig tart, which you will see. And I'm going to be topping that, I think, with some arugula, and there's going to be goat cheese and fresh herbs from my garden. Is there anything else I wanted to show you? I think that's it. Thank you guys for coming. I'm really glad that you guys are excited about my blog. I have a newsletter. You will also be seeing, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I will post when my new blog post is up, but the people that are going to see it first are the people that are actually signed up for my newsletter. So I'm actually giving them a little bit of preference. And then if you missed my scope, I scoped yesterday and actually showed everyone a live view of my new blog, and I haven't released the URL yet. But yeah, I have a newsletter. Here, I'll walk and I'll show you. I still have the note from yesterday when I showed everyone my newsletter. My husband's hiding in the bedroom. He's like, I don't want to distract you. This is actually a link to sign up for my newsletter, and if you sign up this month, you get entered in to win a free embroidery hoop. And yeah, and there's going to be an exclusive coupon code coming out, and you'll see my blog first. So I'm still trying to decide what recipe I'm going to post first. I'll probably do the one that ties into the pickles that I made earlier today. So yeah, so thank you guys. Oh, did you screenshot it? Do you need me to put it up again? Did you hold on here? I'll put it up one more time so you guys can screenshot it if you have iPhones. I think Androids do it too, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so yeah, and I'm on Instagram at KimArt Etsy. I think that people really like these food scopes, so I'm going to be doing them a little bit more. Look out for my photos later of the fresh figs that I got. I'm so excited to edit those photos and post them up, and post a photo. Thanks, Danielle. And post a photo of my fig tart that I'm making. Do you guys want to see a painting that I did? I told you I started off as a painter. Here, check this out. It's leaves. It's beautiful. It's like my favorite, and it's very autumny. And then I have other paintings here. I don't sell these actually. I made these for myself. Then I also have this, which is really cute, which is more like for kids kind of. But yeah, so I'm glad I got to show you guys a little bit of other stuff that I do. I do a lot of stuff and I don't really get to share it. Do you want a sneak peek of something I'm making for my wedding? And if you're confused, if you heard me say husband and then mention wedding at the same time, we eloped 1.5 years ago, and we've been planning our actual like big wedding celebration. So you're gonna see something that no one else has seen before. It's a globe, and I did the hand lettering. So I don't want to show you guys like too much too soon. So love. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like the hot air balloon. I made that like 4 years ago. So yeah, so thanks guys for coming. I'm so glad that thank you guys for coming. I'm actually going to be ending this now, but you can watch the replay. I showed you guys a little tidbit on making fresh fig jam, and I talked about some other stuff. Thanks so much, Danielle, for sharing. Oh, I feel bad, like people are coming. Oh, sorry, I tapped the screen. That's my TV that you just saw. Thank you guys for coming. Please watch the replay. You can subscribe to my newsletter. Thank you, Danielle. Many, many hearts. Bye. Thanks. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.